This podcast is brought to you courtesy of Skype.
In a world of great peril and fear, where prices go up and the digital replaces the tangible, who will the masses turn to? England and Sweden in the greatest crossover event ever. Starring Jack Nik.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Nick, from Crossover.
And it is me, who may be Jack.
Hi,
Hi!
how's it going?
I don't know.
Nice.
Dazed and confused and a bit lost.
Awesome. It can't be better than a little bit confused and lost.
Yeah.
So, this is Crossover, the show where we talk about comic books for 2 hours and bore you to death. Yeah.
Well, admittedly, some people will be bored to death. They'll just be bored into a mild coma. Only a mild one.
Only a mild one, sweet. So they'll wake up just in time for the next thing. Next show. That's what I meant. Anyway, so coming up in this show, we have. Why did I hear the Skype sound when I have it set to do not disturb? This disturbs me very greatly. Anyway, coming up in this show, we have the Daily Planet, where we talk about news and stuff, like Ghost Rider and Akira and Archie Comics.
Apparently so.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a slow week, unfortunately. Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Okay. Following the Daily Planet, we have the back catalog, our review segment, where we talk about what we've read this week.
And I try to avoid having a mild, aneurysm like last week because of Marvel.
Poor you.
Yeah, that was, I actually had a minor mental breakdown there.
Yeah, it was funny though. It was very funny.
True.
What do we have after the back catalog?
After the back catalogue, we'll look to what's coming out next week. That will be, as I find the date, the 29th of February. Apparently it's a leap year, I didn't know that. But on the 29th of February, what's going to be coming out? We're going to be giving our top 3 picks each. 6 in total. We are spoiling you, folks, of what's coming out on the 29th. And there are some pretty good ones, actually. Mm-hmm. In that segment as well is the webcomic spotlight for those of you who are cheapskates or like your comics free and more frequently than once a month.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Following the new releases and the webcomic spotlight, we have the riddles, our viewer interaction segment, where we do a poll every week, once a week, on different topics. And this week, the topic is multi-property crossovers, good or bad. So, if you're listening live, you can still go to NordRTV.com, click on the forums, find the crossover forums, and find the poll under that, and you can vote now.
You know what? Just because I'm not going to be in next week, or doing my own show, Nightmare Mode, 9 o'clock on 10 o'clock rather, GMT on Saturdays on NordRTV.com, I'm going to do a little question for the IRC.
Okay.
What I'm asking now is we're going to be creating ourselves live on air the character of Derp Man. What superpowers would Derp Man have? Send your answers to that to me in the IRC channel. Go to NordRTV.com, click on the chat button, give yourself a name, and then harass me. That's Jotun in the IRC chat channel. Please send your answers to me.
Indeed. So, following the, well, actually, in the riddles, you can also send us emails by sending your emails to copodcast@gmail.com. It's copodcast@gmail.com. We take fan mail, hate mail, spam, just about everything. And to round off tonight's show, we have the Rogues Gallery. And the topic for tonight, my friend, what is it?
The topic for tonight is, in fact, 10 unlikely comic book movies that actually exist.
Interesting. Very interesting. So it's gonna be a weird night.
It is. It's like Nightmare Mode is sort of leaking into this show. Just a little bit. Ever so slightly weird and terrifying.
That sounds just about right. Wouldn't be a good week if it wasn't weird and terrifying. Yes. So, let's start this off with the Daily Planet.
This is Daily Planet.
Yes, Daily Planet, and we'll start off this week's news topics with Ghostfire, or Ghost Rider, whichever you prefer. Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, came out on the 17th in the US and at some point in other countries. And I've been looking for the last few minutes for a release date in Sweden, and I'm unsure if it's actually going to be released in Sweden.
I have no idea.
Because I'm googling at it and there's nothing.
Maybe the Swedish film authorities saw the trailer involving, pissing fire and thought, no, we're not having any of that.
Let's see, superrobotmayhem.com. Do you think that is a source that I can trust?
I probably wouldn't trust it.
Because if that's the case, it comes out tomorrow.
Alright.
But I can't find it on the movie theater's website.
Suspicious.
Yes. Anyway, so, as you might have figured, the last Ghost Rider with Nick Cage in the role didn't do very well.
No, it did not.
And honestly, the second one didn't either. Opening weekend in the US, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance earned estimated $22 million. That's over half, well, actually it's less than half of what Ghost Rider earned during the same weekend.
That is very surprising.
I must say, yeah.
Because the trailer for this one looked a hell of a lot better than, say, any bit of footage from the first one.
I'm just wondering if the first one didn't catch any attention or turned people off, that they didn't want to see the sequel.
Maybe.
But I mean, same weekend, in second weekend, Safe House with Denzel Washington and Ryan Reynolds grossed 24 million, same weekend, and the romantic drama The Vow had 23.6. Journey to Mysterious Island came in at 20.1, which it's not a lot of money on either of
No.
these. Maybe it's just a
Well,
bad weekend.
Journey to Mysterious Island and The Vow are probably shite anyway, so it's a good thing that they're not earning very much. But I guess that people are just getting put off movies in general right now. Until, the summer when the big blockbusters come out.
Yeah, I wonder if February is a bad time to release a movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's just after all the Oscar bait's being released.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just before all the big summer blockbusters and action-packed special effect things are out. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like a lull period in terms of movies.
Very
Especially when you
interesting.
got shit like Journey to the Mysterious Island,
Oh,
in
but
which yet more of Dwayne The Rock Johnson's, self-respect is slowly pulled away.
I've heard that. Well, actually, my sources are 13-year-old girls, but they still are excited for this movie for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. Then again, they also like Twilight and are so excited for the Hunger Games that when we choose handles for laser tag, they all name themselves after characters from the Hunger Games.
I was going to say that, they have really shit taste, but bearing in mind, I know someone's listening in who enjoys the Hunger Games, and I'm going to be spending a week and 2 days with them. I'm not going to slag it off.
Actually, I haven't read it, so I can't say anything about Hunger
I haven't
Games.
either, but the rest of their taste is shit.
Yeah, the rest of their taste is shit, because they're
Yeah.
13-year-old girls.
Yeah.
They were part of the crowd that was up and about when Sweden decided to put a 15-year-old limit on, I think it was Breaking Dawn Part 2, when all the other movies had been 12. Which, I thought that was very funny. Unfortunately, the
13-year-old girls, why do you make me hate the internet and people in general? Why do you make me hate people in general, 13-year-old girls?
yeah, they're a bit weird.
They're like a different species. It's terrifying.
So, moving on to the next thing. We have Kick-Ass 2 that has been coming out slowly in comic book form. Balls to the wall. And it looks like Kick-Ass 2 will be starting shooting in this summer.
Yes, this is worryingly, even though there's been no announcements whatsoever about the director, cast, or even a screenwriter for this. How are they going to move ahead without any of them announced at all? I mean, maybe they've got them on in secret. I mean, of course, there's going to be
Yeah.
the same cast, relatively. Going to be a couple of additions, I guess.
I was
Having
about
read
to
the
say.
comic.
Maybe they are actually going for a very secret approach until they start, and they can't actually do anything about keeping secrets anymore.
Maybe. Just maybe, because this is a Mark Miller thing. It will all be announced during KapowCon.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's announced pretty much everything that he's going to be doing this year. Which is
Yeah.
a fuck ton. And I'm surprised he did all that, before his own convention. So, who knows what he's going to announce there? Probably what's going to be going with Kick-Ass 2, the movie.
Yeah. Very, very likely, considering it's his bloody convention.
Mm-hmm.
I always feels weird when people have conventions and then they release stuff either outside of it, or they on someone else's convention, like Blizzard did with World of Warcraft Cataclysm, I think it was, or something. No, the trailer was released during the Super Bowl, and then it was like, we're gonna reveal the trailer that you've already seen.
Yeah. Astounding marketing right there.
Yep. So hopefully we'll be able to see something this summer. What else do we have in the news, my friend?
Also in the news is one that really speaks to me. I'm going to go over this really quickly because this is the Bram Stoker Awards. These are technically awards for horror. And this is usually just limited to books, but it's recently extended over to graphic novels as well. The list of nominees and shortlists have been released, including the graphic novel one. And I'm going to go through the nominees very quickly for this category. Anya's Ghost by Vera Brosgol. Lock and Key Volume 4 by Joe Hill. Green River Killer by Jeff Jensen. Marvel Universe vs. Wolverine by Jonathan Mabry. Baltimore The Plague Ships by Mike Mignola and Christopher Golden. And Neonomicon by Alan Moore. First of all, I've got to ask, what the flying fuck is Marvel Universe vs. Wolverine doing for the bloody Bram Stoker Award?
I was about to ask, like... Yeah...
Yeah, that makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
That's like giving a movie game the game of the year.
Yeah. That is...
I just want to...
astoundingly confusing.
I just want to read the synopsis of this one. A dreadful disease begins transforming everyone, human and superhuman, into savage, nearly mindless cannibal predators. Who will protect humanity? Who will make a stand against the endless slaughter? Who will make the hard choices? Well, obviously it's bloody Wolverine, considering it's everyone against him.
Herp D friggin' derp. I've got a feeling that's going to be Alan Moore who wins this with Neonomicon. Not because it's a particularly good horror, but because it's terrifying for one reason and one reason only. I ended up picking up the second issue of this fairly late. I missed the first one and thought, okay, it's Alan Moore, I've got to read this. And the second issue was full of about half of it, let's say it's about 20 pages or 22 pages, whatever, be about 10 or 11 pages slagging off H.P. Lovecraft, saying, oh, Lovecraft is so stupid, and so on. And then another 10 or 11 pages of old man penis. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever read. And needless to say, it was burned shortly after.
Oh, you so violent.
Yeah, I had to release the curse, unfortunately.
So,
that's gonna win, but not for good reasons.
Yeah, so the Bram Stoker Award is giving to graphic novels for the... there are graphic novels and normal novels, I believe, in this.
Yes.
And it's given out by the Horror Writers Association, so there are only horror comics that are eligible to get this. Now, I must ask, if you could pick this list, is there anything you want to be on it?
I would probably say... Well, The Walking Dead wouldn't categorize in this. Even though there are zombies, it's technically a drama.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, Walking Dead is really good, but is it really horror?
No, it's not. It's drama. It's a drama with zombies. 30 Days of Night has just been revived as an ongoing series. And apparently that has been kick-ass, so I would be willing to see that on that list.
Yeah, I don't think...
However...
It's not a graphic novel yet, though, is it?
Well, there have been previous graphic novels. I think there's been a new one released at least in the last year. But...
Okay.
Yeah, that should be... Well, Volume 1 of the new series should be hopefully making the list next year. Honestly, I'm hoping for that Baltimore The Plague Ships one making it, because it's done by the same guys who did Hellboy.
Okay. I'm rooting for Lock and Key, to be honest. I've started reading Lock and Key. I'm gonna go into this later. But it's a really good series.
Okay.
Sure, I haven't read Volume 4, but if it continues to be as good as it is right now, it's really good. Spoiler.
It is.
I think it's time for us to take a break, and when we come back, more news.
More news.
More. We'll see you on the flip side.
This podcast is brought to you courtesy of Skype.
you're back on crossover at NordRTV Radio, NordRTVRadio.com. What's that?
Are we really bringing back that tired out old meme from the 90s?
Yes.
Oh, in that case, what's up?
The dude abide.
The dude does abide.
Yes. So does. Let's see. Can I find it? Or is it too late? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, boy!
Once again, we've just found the drop-in, so all of them must be used.
At once.
The thunder of my vengeance will echo through these corridors like the gust of 1,000 winds!
If you can't just use one drop-in. One does not simply use one drop-in into Mordor. Anyway, so more news. Take it away.
More news. Archie Comics has 2 bits of news this week. I know, it's astounding. Archie Comics has news. Who'd have thunk it? First of all, they have got a new ongoing Occupy Riverdale thing going on. Kind of a bit late to be, topical, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, very much so.
2011 called and wanted their Occupy movements back.
Yeah. It's, basically 3 members of the cast representing the 1% and the rest of them being the 99%. One guy stuck in the middle, and I really don't care because it's no longer topical at all.
And it's Archie
And
too.
Yeah, that as well. But yeah, it's just, why are they trying to force topical things so late?
Yeah.
And,
Hey, how about that apartheid?
Yeah, I know. And that Hitler guy on the rise. Yeah, it's a bit worrying, I must admit.
Yeah. It's terrible, them making slaves of the people from Africa.
Yeah, I know. It's going to cause so many problems in the colonies.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, how about that invention that we just found? The wheel. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm really more a guy that goes towards that new thing was called fire.
Oh, yeah. Can't beat fire.
No, it's hard to beat
Unless you
fire.
get water.
Yeah, or a rock.
Or a rock.
Yeah.
Okay, in other Archie news, they decided to branch out from, weird drama-based comics that very few people read, and go into the territory of superheroes that everybody else does, by bringing back, after nearly 30 years apparently, if we don't include the brief run they had at DC, the Red Circle franchise of characters with the new Crusaders. Yes, these are a bunch of people who seem ripped off very blatantly in one case from Marvel and DC and so on. Particularly this one character whose, preview art has been shown for, who looks like a really old sort of Captain America ripoff called the Shield.
With an epic beard though.
An epic beard.
Yeah.
Can't fuck him in the beard, but just the rest of it is, wow, that is
Yeah, he looks exactly
so
like.
close to plagiarism, but not right.
Yeah, it's like, let's take a Captain America giving a pair of spalders and change his pants.
Yeah, and
Basically.
take away the shield, but call him the Shield.
Yeah, like we can still use the shield in the name,
Yeah.
and then we can
Then
get
they dodge the inevitable lawsuit.
and then we can get the kids that like that new show that's on TV, The Shield. I'm just getting the slowpoke meme in my head.
It is. Archie Comics is slowly becoming the slowpoke meme.
Yeah. So this is not nearly as interesting as it could have been. Ever.
Really, ever. I just put this in the news because I want to bring it to people's attention how behind the times Archie Comics is.
Yeah. I don't think anyone reads Archie anymore. That's the problem. They're like, oh my god, we have to make it topical and then bring in new stuff.
I mean, they were.
So what they
Oh.
bring in is Sonic the Hedgehog and the new Crusaders.
I was about to say the only time they've ever really been topical was when they had that gay wedding in it. And that was about 2 years ago, I think. And ever since then, they've just been, trying to ride off that.
Hey guys, you remember that gay wedding that we had? Yeah, that was us.
Yeah. No one else has done that yet. Yeah, because they're not all about, drama. They're about action and horror and other things. Speaking of action, and probably something that's not going to have much, the CW's pilot of The Arrow has just announced some more casting in apparently the, I guess, Lex Luthor ripoff. Tommy Merlin in this, who is basically identical to Lex Luthor in Smallville, but with hair apparently. That's the one difference I see so far.
Great.
Colin Donnell is going to be playing Tommy Merlin, who is described as a spectacular rich young man whose life revolves around parties, clubs, liquor, and lots of anonymous sex. And like Oliver Queen, who is the main character, he can't seem to understand his former best friend's sudden change of lifestyle and direction. And, it's going to be a really, really slow build to him becoming a villain, which takes 7 seasons and then eventually picks up a bow and arrow and becomes a bad guy.
No way.
That's, of course, if this gets picked up.
If.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. I don't know what I think about Arrow, to be honest. Because
I mean, you used to like Green Arrow before the reboot.
yeah, that's not Green Arrow. That's Tom Weller as Green Arrow. To make it slightly.
That's a very good fiction, actually.
The blonde Tom Weller. Is that his name?
Pretty much. I don't know. I don't care.
I'm talking about Clark Kent from Smallville.
Yeah, I know, but I really don't care at this point.
Tom Welling. Sorry, it's Tom Welling
Closely-
as Green Arrow. He doesn't have a proper beard because I don't know. Last time I saw Tom Welling, it was in 2005 between the shoots of Smallville seasons, and he had a terrible beard, like worse than mine, and I have a pretty bad beard.
Wow. That's saying something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just personally hope that was a neck beard he had.
No, you know when you're like 18, 19 and you try to grow a full beard and it just looks really patchy and not that thick at all. So you can see the skin through the beard very easily. That's basically what he had.
So apparently he's just left puberty.
Yeah. I wonder how old he is.
I really don't care.
He was born in 77, apparently. Which makes him 36, 35. So he played a 16-year-old while being 25.
That's American TV for you.
Yeah, it's what I call the Daniel Radcliffe syndrome, when you play a 17-year-old while you're 55 years old.
Anyway, some news that Nick might be looking forward to, I'm guessing. Young Justice is going to be getting a video game in 2013. Young Justice Legacy. Coming out for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
You know I'm going to have to spend money to pick this up, right?
Yep.
And it's going to be terrible. The series is really good.
Wouldn't be...
Like the only series, in my opinion, that ever work when it's a superhero based game are fighting games. Like Marvel vs. Capcom or DC vs. Mortal Kombat. Those are pretty decent games. Well, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Decent.
Marvel vs. Capcom is flipping awesome, but you get my point. Those are
Yeah.
good games because they have essentially very little to do with the characters.
Yeah.
Problem is, does it actually say what kind of game this is going to be?
It doesn't, but it says that it's going to be set between seasons 1 and 2, the animated series, with an original storyline by show producers Greg Reisman and Brandon Vietti. So hopefully the story should be in line with what's actually going on in the TV series.
Which, to be honest, is very not saying a lot. Like, you could take a random episode of season 1 and another random episode of season 1, play them in any order, and it's very likely that you wouldn't actually notice if it was in the wrong order. Like, the only difference that you could find is if they have 3 characters that enter the series at different points, and not all of them are in there all the time, because one is a sentient ball and the other is a wolf.
It's sentient.
It's some sort of technology from either New Genesis or Apocalypse, but they haven't said that in the series. But you got to meet some people from I think it was from New Genesis or Apocalypse, I can't remember which, but it was very clear that the ball and them were from the same place, because they said it's ours.
Sentient ball.
It's a big ball, like, you know, actually, no, about as high as a 12-year-old, as tall as a 12-year-old, sentient ball. And then you have like 3 episodes in. Actually, first episode is without Miss Martian, and second one is introducing Miss Martian, and then a few episodes later you have Artemis coming in. But other than that, it's hard to notice the difference between 2 episodes.
Sentient ball.
It doesn't speak or anything, it just shows signs of sentience.
That makes it even more insane.
It's like it can move.
Okay.
It can move on its own, and it can listen and take instructions, so it can understand people.
Well, that's not at all fucked up, is it?
I need to get you to watch these just so that you can see what I'm talking about, because
I'm gonna be staring at the whole thing in fucking horror from the sound of it. Anyway, moving on to more news before we run out of time in this segment. Since Akira is now on hold with Warner Brothers, the film rights of Bleach have been acquired and are now going to be adapted by, I believe it's the screenwriter of Wrath of the Titans, Dan Mazzone, and Get Smart's Peter Siegel is going to be producing and possibly directing it.
Wrath of the Titans, is that the same people that made Clash of the Titans?
I don't know.
Because that was a bad movie.
I think, if anything, a sequel would be even worse.
I know. I know. The thing is, either they're gonna have to really like westernize it, like they were going to do with Akira.
Oh no, it's going to be westernized anyway.
Yeah, but
They
like
always do.
really, so that it's basically not even resembling Bleach anymore. Because I follow Bleach pretty well. Like I read it a lot.
If you have all seen Harry Partridge's animations on YouTube, look for the Akira one of that, and that would perfectly sum up the sort of treatment that the Akira movie and this Bleach one will probably get.
Because I watched the live action version of Death Note, and that was Japanese though. So, but it was okay. If not for the fact that a character dies, a very important character dies at the end of the second movie, because there's two of them, and then they play Red Hot Chili Peppers with whatever song it is, like Danny California, a really upbeat song. It's like, what?
Maybe that song has different connotations in Japan for some reason.
Maybe, but yeah.
Japan's a weird place, you never know.
Yeah, but that was a good one, but I'm just feeling that they're gonna announce that they're gonna have M. Night Shyamalan to direct it in the end, because
Shyamalama Ding Dong.
yeah. I'm just feeling that it's gonna be something along the lines of Dragon Ball Evolution or Avatar: The Last Airbender. And you remember that those were shit. Both of them.
Yeah.
Especially The Last Airbender, because that was like
Even as not a fan of manga by any stretch of the imagination, I still know that they were shit.
Yeah.
Just as movies on their own.
I would say that anyone that has any hopes for this, just forget it's ever going to happen.
Lock it from your mind, it never happened.
Until you listen to the show and you hear that it's going to be out. Yeah. I just know. No.
Oh well. In slightly more positive news, a trailer's been released for a Static Shock short film. Static Shock Blackout, which is an independent production by Stefan Dezil, who's an actor-director. 12-minute short that's going to be coming out fairly soon, I believe. Shot for $5,000 and centers on the beginning of the career of, what's his name again? Virgil Hawkins, the title character of Static Shock. And look at damn sight better than the comic book, I must admit. At least the 52 reboot.
I don't know. I'm looking at the trailer right now, and I'm unsure if it's like you know the first Spider-Man movie where they make it a joke that the costume is really bad, because this costume is really bad, or I don't know. I'm just feeling that it doesn't look very good.
I know it doesn't look that good, but it still looks a damn sight better than the comic. That's my main point here.
I haven't read the comic, to be honest.
It's foul. hence why it's being dropped.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the lightning effects. Also, he doesn't have dreadlocks, which, you know, I'm all about the hair or something. I don't know.
Every film adaptation of a comic book in any form, it's always the hair you go straight for.
Yeah.
This chick doesn't have the right color hair, etc.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to boycott the Avengers, because Scarlett Johansson doesn't have long enough hair as Black Widow.
It's at least 3/4 of an inch too short.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's way too short. It's like at least 10 centimeters. Also, same thing with the Hulk, but reverse. Bruce Banner has too long hair. Do not like. Also, he's not Edward Norton. Edgar Norton? Edward Norton.
Edward.
Yeah. So for some reason, I always mix his name with Edgar Allan Poe.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it because of, in Fight Club he's completely batshit insane and so was Edgar Allan Poe?
Maybe, I don't know, to be honest.
That's the only explanation I can possibly think of.
I just think that their names sound similar.
Okay.
then again, I'm a little bit demented and insane.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So, let's take a break, and when we come back, more news. No, not
And
us.
I'm going to quickly plug once again the question of the week, which is, we're creating the character of Dirtman. What are his superpowers? Please spam me, Jotun, in the IRC chat channel, and also radio.com.
When we come back catalogue.
This podcast is brought to you courtesy of Skype.
Welcome back to Crossover, folks. We've just come out of the Daily Planet, so I think it's about time we went to the back catalogue.
Lucky she's young. Work your way through my back catalog when we're here till the sun explodes.
Thank you, Captain Jack Harkness.
Yes, that was a nice one. Nice work.
Nice. Yeah.
So, my friend, I will be asking you the same question that I ask you every single week. What have you been reading? I should have asked something else there, just
Yeah.
thought of that while I was saying it. I was like, I'm not witty enough, damn it.
Oh, well. So, the big question this week is, has Marvel made me have another mental breakdown?
I'm gonna guess with yes.
The answer is not quite. I only picked
Oh,
up 3 things Marvel this week, and one of them doesn't really count. Because one of them was the Avengers vs. X-Men program, which I picked up for free. Just to find out, what issues to buy. And, who's going to be in each one. And, yeah, not a lot of Wolverine, apparently. From the sounds of it, apart from,
Yes.
Wolverine and the X-Men. Until, the very end, where he pops up and is like, "Now, bud, you're not supposed to be doing that. I'm Wolverine." He's supposed to be, apparently, the Marvel equivalent of fucking Batman.
I was about to say, does Christian Bale play him in the new Wolverine?
Apparently so. Where's Joker? Swear to me. And so on. But
I like that
yeah,
your rendition of Christian Bale is just a slightly darker voice and screaming into your microphone.
This is Christian Bale all over though. That's what he does. He just puts on a gravelly voice and then screams on the microphone.
Sorry, that was my Cannibal Corpse. Sounds.
I could do a rendition of Cannibal Corpse right now, but it would probably terrify everyone who's listening.
Yeah.
So, another Marvel stuff I've been reading is Mighty Thor number 11. Wherein, everyone finally works out, oh no, Tanaris isn't who we thought he was, and he's actually a troll, and no, the trolls are all over the place, and so on and so forth.
What?
And yeah, only main redeeming thing of this was, first off, Heimdall, who's not black in this, but, in my head it was still Idris Elba, being badass. And of course, Kid Loki, who is apparently the best thing in Marvel right now.
Yeah.
Or one of the few things I don't hate about it. And because, I had to cause myself at least a little bit of mental anguish this week, X-Men number 25. Fucking vampires.
Oh god. You and your vampires.
Fucking vampires.
Oh.
That's all I have to say on that. And then, oh no, the X-Men are killing out vampires because they're trying to find Jubilee, and, she ran off because she's a fucking vampire and she's not getting a blood fix, and, then, there's shit going down as I try to find her and just killing off vampires across the whole fucking planet. And then there's, this is good vampires though, they're keeping her safe, and, then they're the good guys in this because, the X-Men are just out for blood. Isn't it ironic? And I had to stab myself in the eyes to get rid of the painful images. That's all the Marvel I've been reading.
Okay.
What about you? What have you been reading?
So, I unfortunately have been swamped with scout work this week, which is why I know a lot about 13-year-old girls. You perverts. So I only read about 1 or 2 issues of the start of Lock and Key. So, but I picked up the trade paperback Welcome to Lovecraft, and shit just got real where I stopped. Yeah.
Awesome.
Basically, Lock and Key centers around a family of 3 youngsters / children that becomes orphans and are sent to their family home in nowhere, Tennessee or whatever. I always felt that Tennessee was like an outback state in the US, so that's why I chose it.
They may have just lost 1 or 2 listeners from Tennessee, if there are any. Then again, because it's apparently the outback, probably not.
I think there are more states in the US than we have fans. I just want to point that out.
True.
But from what I've heard, it's supposed to be very dark and a lot of gore, which there has been some. I mean, the book starts with a murder, a graphic murder.
I'm sorry, but the goals is putting me off right now.
Why? You like
Because
you like Walking Dead?
I like horror and stuff, but gore seems to be a lazy option for creating horror.
Well, it's not. I'm not talking. Do you like the gore from The Walking Dead?
I tolerate it because it's zombies, so of course there's gotta be some gore.
Yeah, well, this is less. Like, the worst thing that I find in this, and spoiler alert, is someone getting hit in the head with an axe, and all you can see is blood.
Well, that's fine then, as long as it's not, oh god, there's brain and pus and all sorts of stuff all everywhere.
No, there's one panel, which is like half a page, where there's a woman that has just hit a guy in the back of his head, with an axe, and the axe is still stuck there, and there's a lot of blood. That's about it.
Fair enough.
And and it has a lot of like superpowers or stuff. Some centering around locks and keys.
Hence the name. Oh, it's so witty.
Yeah, so where I left off, the youngest kid figured out that he can open a door with a special key, and when he walks through it, he basically dies and becomes a spirit. And if he walks back through the other side, he gets back into his body.
Okay.
Yeah. That's basically it.
Well, that's entirely unusual.
Yeah, but the artwork is very nice. Not Jim Lee nice. Then again, every girl doesn't look like she has back problem because of her massive fun bags, but it's still nice. Like it's a good mix between the hyper realistic that people have been trying for in DC and the normal indie that we're used to, that is cell shaded basically.
Yeah.
That isn't very nice looking at all. But yeah, so that's what I've been reading this week.
Alright. In that case, as I limber up apparently, DC from me. All-Star Western number 6. I love the fact that the main selling point of this, they were so keen to flaunt, was Jonah Hex having a fight with a giant bat.
Oh yeah.
For very little reason other than they're in a cave, so of course there has to be a giant bat. It's a thing with Gotham and gigantic bats in caves.
I wanted him to have a fight with the Bat, the Batman, you know, since that's still canon.
Well, Return of Bruce Wayne is apparently still canon because it's still recognised that he died.
Yeah.
So he's have to come back at some point. So I guess that fight that they end up having in Return of Bruce Wayne is canon still.
Basically, everything in Batman and Green Lantern lore is can still.
It's just some things like Superman and stuff that are being reset.
It's just about everything but the Bat and the Lantern that has been reset.
I guess because, well, Jeff Johns' pet project, even though he was the one responsible for the reboot, was Green Lantern before.
Yeah, and everyone
Reboot.
loves the Bats, so
Yeah.
like.
Especially after Grant Morrison took over, even though he's confusing as fuck.
I don't get why people like that. No.
Yeah, well, it could be worse. Anyway, as Nick starts slowly becoming a spaniel, apparently, as he's growling, Aquaman number 6. This week it was this month rather was focusing on Mira, aka Aqua Woman, and her exploits as she goes wandering about town trying to pick up dog food for the family pet, apparently, and everything goes to shit after she breaks the arm of a lecherous and ridiculously pervy and borderline rapist shop assistant.
Okay.
And yeah, then everyone tries shooting at her, and she ends up having to break up a hostage situation. She's completely unrelated to the previously mentioned arm breaking.
Why?
It was. I don't understand it, but still, it's a nice aside from what's currently going on with that. And it does at least show a bit of a backstory of still maintaining that she was originally sent to assassinate Aquaman.
Is this series declining now? Because it sounds like it.
It's taking a little break between story arcs, I guess. I mean, we did have the Aquaman in the desert previously. Straight after the first story arc. And now it seems to be getting back into it with the next one, which is Who Sunk Atlantis. Is going to be moving on with that one in next issue, I think. But oh well. Flash number 6 introduces a nifty little gadget, apparently, in the form of monitoring whether or not he's going to destroy the space-time continuum.
Okay.
Yeah, because apparently as he runs too fast, he ends up bringing shit from the past into the present day. Snagging things from time with the Speed Force. Fortunately. And yeah, big fight with entirely rebooted Captain Cold.
I saw a picture of him. He looks very different now, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he doesn't need his guns anymore.
Oh, that sucks.
It does acknowledge that he used to have guns though, so it's not being entirely rebooted. It's just I don't know. They've claimed he's been gotten some improvement or something. I don't know. It doesn't actually suggest what's happened to him, but at least suggests he used to be the same version that we'd previously seen.
Is he still Leonard Snart?
Yes.
I'm trying to find a picture of him, how he looks now. I don't know, I kind of liked him as the Eskimo weird guy with guns. That, just something I liked.
Because he looked like such a loser, so you're kind of sort of rooting for him, but then he turned out to be a complete bastard, so you're like, oh, okay.
Also, I liked him in as Citizen Cold.
Oh yeah, that completely amoral douchebag that he was.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But still loved, apparently. It's fantastic.
He was the best anti-hero of the Flashpoint series.
Oh yeah.
He was better than Batman. In my opinion.
In your opinion, yeah.
I didn't really like Thomas Wayne as the Batman, except for the awesome parts that it was Thomas Wayne as the Batman.
Well, I just loved the storyline of the Flashpoint Batman. Mainly not so much some of the characters, but still, it was one of the better stories of that. Anyway, Green Lantern New Guardians number 6. A lot of 6s this week, apparently. Yeah, this was just entirely demented. I'm giving up caring on New Guardians. by far the weakest Green Lantern comic at the moment. And it used to be Red Lanterns, but now it's like this is definitely the weakest one. It just seems to be an opportunity for marketing, for producing toys and action figures.
Okay.
It's just like, and this week, this guy's got a different costume or a new feature that we can, put into an action figure at some point. And yeah, this villain would look totally cool and, 6-inch polyurethane or something like that. Yeah, that'd be totally cool. All the kids will be going for it. And yeah, apparently in the solar system sized spaceship, shaped like a solar system for some unknown fucking reason, the douchebag who's responsible for pinching people from planets and so on is just like, oh god, I'm gonna kill all you people because you wear lantern rings, and I don't like lantern rings because last person I saw was one of them was Lawfleas. And yeah, and all hope now rests on the one chick from the Red Lanterns.
Is that the Bleach?
Please, yeah.
Yeah, the woman with the wings.
With the dodgy wings, yeah.
Yeah, the wings without feathers.
Yeah.
'Cause
apparently that's cool. Other than that, Justice League Dark number 6 was good as ever because of my main man, John Constantine.
Sweet.
And yeah, everybody hates each other, and it's fantastic. Especially just the argument that Deadman and John Constantine have in this issue.
Okay. Do tell. What do they
It's
have
because in the previous issue, June Moon, who is the host of the Enchantress, Deadman's was previously trying to rescue her from all that, and save
I
her.
thought you were gonna say that he was trying to get in her pants.
Well, he may have been. We don't know that. It never reached that sort of point anyway, because John Constantine forced her and the Enchantress together, thereby saving the world, but causing Deadman to be pissed off.
Okay.
And yeah, just the great thing about having arguments with the Ghost is they can walk through them at any point and just avoid the conversation.
Yeah.
And Superman number 6 is, yeah.
When are you gonna drop that?
I was, and then I picked up this one just to actually finish off that story because I'm an OCD bastard and have to finish any story I read. And yeah, it just, yeah. At least hints us what's coming up in future in the next Action Comics, when he actually gets the suit that he ends up wearing throughout DC from now on, rather than the t-shirt, cape, and jeans. But yeah, that's the only thing of any relevance at all in this issue. Is just clone Superman and Superman having a fight, and then it's all just like completely pretentious bollocks as to why that guy's a clone, and explaining away the story too much through a fight. It's basically written as if it was designed for idiots. Oh, we'll give you so much exposition while I'm busy clobbering you.
Okay.
Apparently Superman took, all his storytelling skills from the supervillain school of thought. While I'm busy beating the crap out of you, I will tell you everything that's going on and has been going on.
God.
As he twiddles a mustache, apparently.
You know what would make Superman a better character?
Killing him off? Oh, that's already been done.
I was gonna say a
Killing him off
beard,
again?
but but killing me off works. It's second on my list.
Why are there so few bearded characters in comic books?
I don't know. I mean, they removed the best one, Green Arrow. Like, there's no. The best thing is that he at one point was mayor of his town, Star City, and nobody figured out that, hey, this guy has the exactly the same weird ass beard as Green Arrow. Wonder why.
I think they just didn't care or he was presiding over a population of idiots.
Probably both, to be honest.
Combination of the two. No, well, could be worse. It could be like Thor, where in the mainstream one they gave him a beard for 3 pages of his title and then killed him off.
Nice.
No, really, like literally 3 pages, and then the next issue he died.
Have you been keeping up with the Deathstroke series?
Nope, not at all.
Have you heard anything good about it?
I read 3 issues of it and then just decided to give it up because it just wasn't worth it.
Okay, I only read the first one and gave it up because it just wasn't worth it.
I did like the first issue just based on the fact that it was, it seemed to be taking the piss out of the Green Arrow one. Very similar sort of stuff, and then he killed every fucker.
Yeah, I just didn't like it. Anyway, it's time for us to take our last music break, and all this music is chosen by me, so blame me if it sucks. We'll see you on the flip side with the new releases.
This podcast is brought to you courtesy of Skype.
You're listening to NordRTV Radio, where gamers rock. Don't forget to visit our YouTube page at www.youtube.com/NordRTV, as well as our Facebook and Twitter at facebook.com/NordRTV Radio and twitter.com/NordRTV Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Crossover, only on NordRTV.com. I'm Jack, and over there is Nick.
Where we talk in a very documentary-like voice that is
This
almost
is actually
whispering.
This is actually the voice of a jazz club guy. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, jazz.
Really?
It's just this music, it's just ridiculous.
I like
Oh,
it.
I love it.
There is something about having a jazzy swing. So yeah, awesome times. Let's move into from last week's releases and what we've been reading to next week in the future.
You've got to come back with me. Where? Back to the future.
Back to the future.
Indeed.
So, my friend, what is your first pick?
My first pick for the coming week, the 29th of February, because apparently it's a leap year and I wasn't aware of that. First pick is, in fact, Justice League number 6. This is one that's going to come as a combo pack with a digital download as well. But the Justice League is now united against Darkseid. The awesome consequences of this high-stake battle will resonate within the series for years to come. Because, everybody's going to be in a group together.
Mm-hmm.
Good times, Justice League.
Good times. My first pick of the week moves along the same lines of Justice League with Ultimate Comics Ultimates number 7, another team. And shit went down in the last issue.
Oh yeah.
That's all I can say. So, yeah, it continues with that. Includes a free digital download. Just saying.
There's a lot of free digital downloads for actually quite decent titles.
Mm-hmm. Second pick.
Second pick for me is The Shade number 5. Continuing on the mini-series that's going on there. The Shade's quest to find out who ordered his assassination takes him to Barcelona, where he stumbles upon a decades-old feud between a teenage vampire and her arch-enemy me. Suddenly, I'm slowly losing faith in the series, but still, it has been fantastic so far. What does this feud have to do with the Shade's origin? A crucial piece of the puzzle is revealed in this issue.
Okay. My second pick for this week is Ultimate Comics X-Men number 8. This is going to include Karen Grant, also known as Jean Grey, Liz Allen, and Derek Morgan, the Ultimate X. And they will try to navigate their way through a strange new world where they're basically being hunted down by killer robots.
Good times.
Yeah.
And so, my third and final pick for this week, is Darkness number 100, just in time for the Darkness 2 video game to come out. Longtime writer Phil Hester, this is going to be his last issue on this. And it's going to feature Jack Estaccato, aka the Darkness Bearer, coming face to face with the source of his power and misery, the darkness itself. And only one of them will walk away. My guess is, there's going to be a different host after this, but still. If you're at all interested in the video game or the comic, then, definitely this is one to check out.
My third and final pick for this week is Batman Beyond Unlimited number 1. New ongoing series starring Batman Beyond of the future, Terry McGinnis, and the Justice League Beyond, where we have the old ass Superman, the Tibetan monk, Green Lantern, whatever, Big Barda, and some other people.
Fair enough.
Yep. Some awesome stuff going on there.
Nice.
So, that's our pick for this week, and what is our webcomic spotlight?
Webcomic Spotlight is one that was brought to my attention recently by my usual studio audience. This is called Johnny Wonder. You can find it at johnnywonder.com. That's JOHNNY Wonder. Yeah. And this is a comic that is produced by, if you ever read Apple Geeks, Ananth, the writer of that, is involved in this, along with, I forget her name, Yuko Ulter. This is a usually semi-biographical comic that, features a lot of stuff about cats, really. And one of their demented housemates called John, who the studio audience has come to love. I will link one right now in the IRC chat channel, and it never stops making her giggle like a loon. But yeah, this also features a lot of sort of mini stories going on, particularly about Death getting a girlfriend. Yep, the Grim Reaper getting a girlfriend. And currently, yeah, it's fucking weird in that respect.
What is this? What? I don't get it. That's the best thing about it. I have no idea what this is. Oh, God. Oh. And you can only find this out if you're listening live.
Yep. And if you go to www.johnnywonder.com and go through the archives, you'll eventually find the one that just made Nick break down a little bit.
It's the number 263.
Titled simply ...
Yeah. Weird ass thing.
Yeah.
Like the beginning reminded me a bit of Scott Pilgrim. It doesn't really do that anymore when I'm reading through in the 200s, but weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Weird, but I like it. Probably because it's weird.
Alright. So that's our webcomic spotlight. You can find it at johnnywonder.com. And let's speed through this with the riddles.
As one baker to another, how do you make a dishonest shortcake?
And let's bring up our weekly poll. Multi-property crossovers, yay or nay?
Well, we have an even split. 50% either way, saying either it's awesome or it's awful.
Okay.
Although we do have one qualifier right there, which is Lua-chan saying only if they're good, they're funny crossovers. And he said good, but still, funny crossovers are always good.
Yeah. I still want to see. Oh shit! What was it I had thought of? Hang on, I need to turn around so I can see it. My bookcase. I want to see an X-Men. X-Men Game of Thrones crossover. Just for the hell of it.
Why and how would that
No,
work?
I'm just kidding. I want to see something along the lines of Resident Evil Walking Dead crossover.
Okay.
Just because that would be batshit insane.
Just how would Rick cope with the tyrant running about the place?
Or a Nemesis.
Oh god, Nemesis.
Or just have
Wandering around shouting stars!
obviously I want the movie Resident Evil and not the comic book Resident Evil or the game.
God.
Well, like maybe if they did, that could be a good crossover if they made the Chris Redfield, the Chris Redfield procedure to Rick, where he gets a sequel and then gains like 500 pounds in muscle mass.
Okay.
Yeah, he got to star in his own game, Resident Evil 5, and gain huge guns. I'm talking guns as in muscles.
Right.
Yep.
Well, maybe because, you know, in the comics he does lose a hand. If that happens in the TV show, then they may end up doing an Evil Dead and giving him a chainsaw for a hand.
Yes.
And a broomstick.
New idea. Walking Dead, Final Fantasy 7 crossover. Turns out
Oh
that
god, he gets a gunblade.
Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, right.
It turns out that he's Barrett, the big black guy.
God.
Because yes,
Oh,
that's
he
how.
pulls up a mask and then somehow, oh, it turns out I was Barrett all along.
God. That sounds like something M. Night Shyamalan would do. I was black the whole time. Oh God, we're so racist.
I seriously hope that they end up getting M. Night Shyamalan to do the finalist episode of Walking Dead. It turns out either A, Rick was hallucinating the whole thing from the beginning as part of, you know, a virus, the zombie virus or something, or he was a zombie the whole time, but just no one caught on.
It was a dream, like Mario 2 style dream, from that he dreamt in his coma from the gunshot wound, or he was a zombie. Yeah, I like the zombie theory. Guess what? I was a zombie the whole time. God, that would be the worst ending to the series ever.
It's like, son, I know we've been through a lot of shit. I mean, we lost your mother, we lost his sister, we lost everybody we hold dear to us. We've even lost track of all the people that we made friends with. But guess what? I have something important to tell you. What is it, Dad? I've been a zombie the whole time. The whole time because I numbed their brains. By the way, brains!
Oh God. How terrible. Also felt that we got a bit of spoilers there, but yeah.
It's fine.
Spoilers.
If you hadn't been reading the graphic novel, there's something seriously wrong with you.
I haven't read the graphic novels.
There's something seriously wrong with you then.
Not all of them. Like, I've read the first 5. I'm trying to be diverse in what I read so that I only don't read the same thing over and over again.
That's fair enough. While we're still in the riddles, I will reveal the answers I've got. all the answers I got to the what superpowers would Derpman have question I impromptu gave to the IRC. Lol Gamer answered with, he would have the power to create obscure characters at the flick of the wrist, like the my butthole is clenched in anger face. Irony.
God.
Luwa-chan says mind control, but it makes the person dumb, like him. So, he creates zombies? Oh, God,
No. He creates 13-year-old girls.
Also, doesn't it?
He creates 13-year-old girls.
Like, terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. Kelly Jack says wall-breaking headbutt. Hopefully with a battle cry of
Oh god, I can see that. Like, he pulls the head back, goes herpa, and then derp.
You know, Hulk has his battle cry, Hulk smash. Thing has its clobbering time. He has herp.
Yeah, and we have other war cries like Avengers Assemble, Titans Go.
I'm a firing my laser.
I'm a firing my laser. What has this show come to?
Ladies and gentlemen, for fuck's sake.
And final response I got was from Ikis saying, Dirtman with the power to read your mind, but he can only do the opposite. So does he speak his thoughts then?
Oh, it's like that issue of Deadpool. You know, the one where he starts with an inner monologue, and then people start responding to him, and it's like, how can you hear my thoughts?
Is that doing Civil War?
I think so.
I think for some odd reason his inner monologue broke.
I think it's Civil War or Secret Invasion.
Something like that, yeah.
I have to find that.
That
awesome.
would be Dirtman's power, definitely.
I just get the feeling that Dirtman would be Deadpool without the powers.
So just a psychopath.
Honestly, wasn't that what you had in mind when you made Dirtman? Just a psychopath.
Well, Dirtman was just a retard apparently, but then suddenly from these powers that we got, which is, you know, he had the power to create obscure characters like my butthole is clenched in anger face. He has mind control to make people dumb. He has wall-breaking headbutt, and now he has the power to read your mind, but can only do the opposite. He is shaping up to be a spectacular character.
Oh.
This is going to be our mascot. This is going to be the mascot of a crossover.
If you make that into a comic, I will make it my #1 comic of all time.
Oh, I will make it.
It will.
In fact, because I'm going to be trying to make a script to, you know, bring to KapowCon.
Mm-hmm.
It may very well end up being Dirtman.
God, don't bring Dirtman to KapowCon,
It needs
please.
to be done.
If anything, you should send it to Archie Comics.
They're in desperate need of original characters, aren't they?
Yes. Whatever you do, don't send it to DC. They will get a contract with you. You will feel that you did a great series, and then 20 years later they will make a follow-up to it, and you will hate them for all eternity.
Just because I'm a beardy Brit doesn't mean I'm Alan Moore.
I think you are secretly.
I'm actually a cranky old wizard.
Alan Moore. He's
Alan
a
Moore
wizard.
is
He's a
a
shaman.
He's a shaman, is he?
He's a pagan shaman.
Yeah, wizard, shaman, same deal. Unless, of course, it's going by MMOs, and then it's, you know, slightly different power set. But still,
Yeah.
I think it's about time we went into, so I can find out what we're doing next, the Heroes Gallery.
I said you're a coward and a piss pot. Now what are you gonna do about it?
Nothing. I just want you to face me so she could get behind you.
That game, Mel Reddington, random guy getting punched in the face.
So, our Rogues Gallery for tonight is the 10 unlikely comic book movies that actually exist.
Yeah, because, apparently Ghost Rider wasn't great enough.
No, they resist not existing. What? So starting at number 10, we have Road to Perdition. I can't speak the English language. Herp-a-derp, I'm derp man.
See, that's why we've got to adapt that. We've got to adapt it.
Yeah, it'll be a webcomic. Nobody will ever read it.
You say that. I have at least one reader.
Yes, and yes, Road to Perdition is a notable legacy of DC's Paradox Press imprint, which the movie was released in 2002, but the series wasn't going on anymore, and the imprint was debunked by then. It was, yeah. Basically, they had shut it down, and the movie went on to gross $180 million and 6 Oscar nominations.
And it's also one of the big ones that people think could not possibly be in a comic book.
Yeah.
Because, it's a gritty crime drama and not people punching each other. With spandex on. Because that's a thing for superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is Monkey Bone. Yes, the critically maligned 2001 Brendan Fraser movie was based on the graphic novel Darktown in 1995 by Canada's Mad Monkey Press. This was a terrible, terrible movie. Only made up $8 million in the worldwide box office.
Wow.
And what else can I say apart from the fact it's Brendan Fraser? That sums up how shit it is.
Yeah. Honestly, though, we can't give all the shit to Brendan Fraser because he's pretty good in some movies. Like The Mummy was awesome.
It's a shame they made 2 more.
Did they?
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Did not happen?
They didn't. There was only one, The Mummy.
Okay.
And he got the semi-hot girl in the end. And then we never know what happened after that.
Yes, indeed.
I think they never got a kid because he was sterile.
One can only hope.
Yes. Number 8 is Tank Girl. What?
I'm sorry, somebody ended up sending me a picture of what Dead Man looks like.
Oh, you have to send me that. Okay, I found it. It's... was this the one that was just linked in the IRC?
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently the face of Derp Man is our dear friend DJ Byrne from the Banhammer on on Mondays. Yes. He does look very derpy in that.
Yeah. Sorry, Byrne.
Poor thing. Poor thing.
Yeah.
I'm calling it a thing. Number 8 is Tank Girl, which in the early 90s it was a British cult sensation and was reprinted by Dark Horse in the States. And in 1995 it was adapted into a live-action movie starring Laurie Petty, who would be known as, well, was known as Livewire in Superman the Animated Series. And yeah, Tank Girl was a very chaotic, psychedelic comic strip by Jamie Hewlett and Alan Martin. And the movie sucked.
Yes.
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 Mm-hmm. Number 7.
Number 7 is Power Pack. This goes to show that Marvel Studios wasn't always that fantastic at adapting their products into movies. The 1991 adaptation of the 80s series Power Pack, teaming a family of kid superheroes. And yeah, this probably would have been higher up on the list if it wasn't a pilot to a Saturday morning TV series that didn't end up being picked up. Because it was just absolutely... It was an abortion, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's all I have to say on that. It's terrible.
It was terrible. Okay. Number 6 is Art School Confidential, a movie that will probably go down in the history of comic book movies as having the least amount of source material ever. Art School Confidential was based on 4 pages of comic book from 8 Ball number 7. 4 pages. 4 pages. That's ridiculous.
That baffles me.
Yeah, it was released in 2006 as the movie, and it flopped. Nobody saw it, basically.
Are you all surprised?
No. I just want to read some of the actors in this, and I want to know if you know more than one of these. You have, let's see, I need to make this bigger so I can read it. Max Minghella, Sophia Miles, Angelica Houston, or Huston, Jim Broadbent, or Broadbent, and John
Jim Broadbent
Malkovich.
What?
John Malkovich.
Okay, 2 of them I know.
Really? Who else do you know?
Jim Broadbent.
What has he done?
He's an established actor in the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
Never heard of
Or
him.
was. Because he did mostly English stuff.
Looks like a tosser. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Shit, he was in a lot of things.
I think he's dead now, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Probably not, because
maybe.
he's the voice of let's see, Postman Pat in Postman Pat the movie that is set to be released in 2013.
Why is there a Postman Pat movie?
Apparently he was in Harry Potter 8 and Narnia, the first one, Gangs of New York, Moulin Rouge, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
A lot.
Hot Fuzz. He was in a lot of things. Why don't I
Yeah.
know this guy? He was in Free Jimmy, which was
Maybe you have
terrible
like
movie.
selective blindness with Jim Broadbent.
Maybe I have a selective blindness. Period.
Fair enough. Number 5. We're gonna get through these eventually. Archie to Riverdale and back again.
Really?
Because we've had plenty of Archie in this show for some reason. Not that he's at all relevant to anything. This is a 1990 movie, a TV movie from the 1990s, showing 15 years after Archie and the gang graduated from high school, and they're all losers with dysfunctions of some variety, and hijinks ensue. And it's just terrible because it's
Yeah.
Archie.
Yeah, Archie isn't a very good series. Period.
It's not a good thing at all.
No, I never liked it. Number 4 is Man-Thing. Released in... let's see. It was released in 2005, where Marvel has had a pretty high number of victories at the box office. 2 X-Men movies, 2 Spider-Man movies, etc, etc. But the micro-budget movie Man-Thing, nobody remembers it because it was terrible. It was made for TV, for the Sci-Fi Channel. And those who don't know Man-Thing, it's basically Swamp Thing, but with instilling fear and less swamp.
Yeah.
Yes.
basically Marvel's really, really dodgy ripoff.
Mm-hmm.
With a really, really weird nose. Kind of like, Squidward going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's very strange. Number 3, Steel. This was made into an actual proper movie with Shaquille O'Neal as Steel. I'm opposed, I didn't know it. Steel being one of the 4 Supermen who stepped up into Metropolis after Superman died.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently somehow got his own movie. Which, yeah, since he was basically just Iron Man meets Superman.
Yeah.
And a black dude. And that was just a whole gimmick, really. Was, yeah, I'm from the hood, but I got, a power suit. That was
weird.
Wow. It was fantastically bad. It was awful. But awesome and awful.
Wasn't Shaquille O'Neal the star of that?
I just said Shaquille O'Neal is Steel.
Why aren't I listening?
Has it reached past a certain point of around 11 o'clock your ears switch off?
Yeah, I know. We need to speed this up. At number 2 we have Watchmen, which it was a really good series, really popular, so it's not that weird that it came out, but that it came out is weird in itself because it's such a weird comic book.
Yeah.
So yeah. And number 1.
Number 1 is Howard the Duck.
Which is a
For
great movie.
About 25 years this has been, the go-to reference for bad, not just bad comic book movies, but bad movies in general.
It's a great movie.
It's a 1986 Marvel comic adaptation, which brings Howard the Duck into the real world of 1986 America, and is just demented in so many ways.
It's awesome.
So far as to have been almost kissed with a duck and a real person.
Yeah. The Howard the Duck is an awesome movie and nobody should talk bad about it. But we need to say goodbye because we are supposed to hand off to DJ Raven with the random encounter.
Yes, we are.
Yes. So, thank you for listening. Follow Jack on whatever you use now. What do you use?
Mostly Twitter.
Okay,
I don't update it very frequently.
Twitter.com/squalidscribe. Is that it?
Yep. SQUALIDSCRIBE.
And you can find me on Twitter as well. Twitter.com/SirBlondie. We have been your crossover for this week, and goodbye.
Goodbye.